Hello.
And that's how we start.
Yes.
We start by laughing.
With a good laugh.
Okay, so thank you, Brigitte, for this interview / overview of your coaching journey. And I want to start by saying that it's been such a pleasure to see you grow and evolve. And okay, before I get there, let's start from the beginning. So
Okay.
Tell me, where were you in your life when we started the coaching last year?
Yeah, it's been a year already.
Almost a year, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was in my professional life, I was nowhere. I had ideas. I was not an entrepreneur. I didn't know where to start, how to do it, but I knew that I did not want to follow the usual path of all the entrepreneurs. So I wanted something different. And then you came into my life and I went like, yeah, this is it. This is the kind of coaching I want. I want something with a different outlook and a different way to do things. And you just came into my life at the right time.
Yes. And thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
In my life too. So when I met you, you had finished a styling training.
Yeah.
And you knew that you wanted to be a stylist. And again, you knew that you wanted to do it in a different way.
Yes, I just had all the tools. I had the diploma. I knew how to work. I just didn't know how to start my own business with my ideas and my vision. And I needed some coaching because I was a stay-at-home mom for 18 years. I was just coming in the business world. So I had no idea how to do things. So I wanted a business coach, but I wanted something different. And that's what you offered.
Yeah. Okay. So you wanted to start your business and to do it in a different way. And I want to jump a little bit ahead in terms of the coaching journey to a moment in the summer when you realized that you were going to be really good at teaching and at doing videos, and you started shooting these videos where you were teaching people how to just different styling tips, but one in particular, a really fun video that we were telling them how to pack your luggage effectively. And that video ended up being seen by people that you had learned the trade from, and that basically they had told you that you can't do that. You can't teach what you've learned.
No, apparently I cannot use the tools that I've learned and to give it to others. I guess I just have to invent my own tools now.
And that's what happened. So I just wanted to jump right ahead at this because...
Yeah, it was a turning point for me. It was like, okay, I don't want to do any traditional styling. And there was just the moment where I knew that my idea of doing something different was going to take flight and I needed to implement it and go on a new road with that, because I could not use what I've learned in school as techniques directly with my clients. I needed to find another way to teach what I wanted to teach.
So I wanted to jump to that because I think not only was it a turning point, but I wanted to share this because I know that a lot of people, whether they're coaches or consultants or service-based entrepreneurs, it will come a time where what you've learned, to reteach the things that you've learned in the same old voice, is either going to become boring to the entrepreneur, to the creator, and it just becomes more noise. It's not unique. It doesn't really, even though like you had your unique way of teaching and doing the videos and sharing what you learned, it was still the recycled information from the styling world, which you're like, hey, I know this great thing, how you can pack your luggage in a way that's so practical. Let me show you that. And then being told that you can't do that. You can use it one-on-one, but you can't teach that. And a lot of people come across this, and that's where the Awakening Your Inner CEO becomes so key to creating a long-term success where you're going to have a bigger impact, because you want to see from deep within yourself, what do I really have to bring here? What's my unique talent, the unique twist that I can bring to things? And on top of that, what am I seeing that's different that will take this conversation to the next level? So you had an insight and you took the styling conversation. You had an insight. And so can you share with us what that insight was? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. That's how I found the name for the new method of styling that I've created. I wanted to use the styling. My insight was like, I need to use the styling from within, from the inside out, because that's what we've been learning with you as a coach, as the mastermind coach and intuitive business coach. So I said, I want to create from the soul. I want to create from the inside out. So I've changed my name and the method to SoulStyling. So now it's a SoulStyling method where you use your clothing every morning to feel good about yourself, to elevate your energy, and you feel like your inner goddess is out there with you. And this is when this whole situation where I thought, I don't know how I'm going to be able to work as a stylist if I cannot teach what I've learned and the way I was thinking of teaching and giving all the tools. If I cannot do it like that, how am I going to do it from within? And then the name SoulStyling came up, and I started doing SoulStyling and really refining what I wanted to do with the clients and with how to use your wardrobe efficiently. And from last summer till now, I've been working on creating a more detailed method of getting dressed and incorporating all kinds of energy, like the colors, the fibers, and of course your goddess shape, because everybody's a goddess. So from that point, it kind of what?
Yeah, because this is a big thing. You took something from the world of styling that you thought was a little boring and a little time for a change, and instead of calling people fruits, pears, and celery, you're a celery. Like, who wants to be a celery?
Who wants to be called a pear?
I don't want to be called a pear. Thank you.
No.
And or the letters, the X, the A's, and
so I flipped it around. And I not invented because I believe we're all goddesses. Everybody has their own essence. So I instead of using pear shape and apple shape and letter shape, I researched goddesses and I gave the shapes a name, and every name that goes with that, I kept the letters because this is a good visual for a stylist, the shape of a letter in 2 dimensions. So I kept the letter, but I did find goddess names that would actually go with the personality or the shape. So shape A became an Athena, and the H became the goddess Hera, and so on. So now I work with 4 goddesses, and it's kind of fun because when you work with a client, they're like, oh my God, I'm a goddess. So yes, you are. You're a goddess. And then I explain what the goddess is. And usually it really goes with their personality. So I was really happy with that.
Yeah, so you came across something much, much bigger. Which goddess am I?
You're an Athena.
I'm an Athena. Hey.
Yeah, that's the goddess of peaceful war. She's a peaceful warrior. She's the goddess of strength and inner wisdom. And she's a Greek goddess. And the Athena shape is like the volume is a little more at the bottom of your body because you need to have that strength to really have your 2 feet on the ground so you can be that warrior and have that strength. So the volume on your body is a little more at the bottom. So that's why it's Athena.
Yeah, it makes total sense. I love that. Yeah, and I can see myself in that as well, in that description, the inner wisdom and the peaceful warrior. Definitely. I have the warrior energy. And then once you had, so this is a couple of months in your coaching journey, and you have this insight that shifted everything, because that insight of, wow, I really want to do soul styling. It came from within. You really saw it. You felt it. It shifted your energy, your consciousness, and it opened up this brand new path that wasn't there for you before.
Yeah, it did. It opened a new way of seeing what my business could be. And I really feel like I'm not working. I'm just having a blast, and I just love creating. I wrote a book. It's going to be published, and it's all about the basic soul styling, what it is, why did I create it, and I'm just really looking at all the different avenues and doors. It doesn't have to be traditional business. You can really, with a good idea of what you when you're really connected to what you want to do, and you go with a business, I call it a business outlook, a little different than traditional, then I think there's nothing is impossible. Everything's possible.
Yeah. So you went a little farther than I wanted you to go, but that's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, in your journey as an entrepreneur and in the coaching journey, each time you had an insight, you kept clarifying your vision and then implementing. That's one thing that I really like about you. When you have an idea, you take it and you run with it. So you move very fast in your business. You don't sit there waiting. You take action. So you got the idea for the book. You're getting the book published with Balboa Press, and it's probably coming out anytime now.
For Christmas. It should be out for Christmas.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Great. And Christmas present.
That's beautiful. And it's nice. It's important, I think, to also share that in the entrepreneur journey, there are different steps that needs to happen, and you want to build on that, and that the promise of, a magical business appearing within a week, it doesn't really happen like that. You have to be consistent. You have to do your work. You have to keep, building your inner, I call it the entrepreneurial spirit. Again, awakening your inner CEO so that you have that strength and that wisdom within you, that confidence. And then you can act confidently. And if we look at a year period, now that idea for the book came somewhere in the spring. You started writing it in the summer, and now it's coming out in Christmas.
Yes.
And then in there also, the other things that started to come together for you was, how can I work with clients one-on-one right now to bring this? And then other opportunities that you created, like conferences. You just wrapped up a conference that was very successful.
Yes.
Yeah, and you booked a bunch of clients there too.
I did, yes.
Yeah, and then we did that a couple of weeks ago. We did the one-day intensive, and we looked at your big vision, your clear vision, and where you're at now, and how you have to line up, what you need to line up, and what you need to create in order to create that big vision. And what we saw just today in our coaching session was the idea of having a magazine that would also support your vision for SoulStyling, which, by the way, what you did was also very smart. Legally, you trademarked it.
Yes, I did. So it's my name, it's my method, I created it, and it's going to be trademarked in Canada and in 1 year in the States too. So that's a good idea, because one of my vision is other stylists might have the same I guess, vision as me, and I want to be able to give them like the courses in soul styling so they could be approved as a soul stylist and use my method with their clients. I'm not going to tell them not to use my tools. They can use my tools. I want everybody to use my tools.
Yeah.
So that's the big vision. And something that really, from your program, from your coaching, something that really, every day or every time I have a decision to make in my business, or I'm thinking, okay, what should I do next? And am I pursuing the right path? Something always come up, and that's something you told me was like, sometimes you just have to sit down and wait and say what wants to happen next. So that's my philosophy a bit right now is, okay, this is my idea. This is what I want to do. But what wants to happen next? And then usually you get your answer right away and things happen, and then you go from that. So I call that my insight. So I go by that to make my decision, always to make sure that I'm in line with my big vision.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing that, because that brings us to the deeper inner transformation that happened through the coaching journey and through your journey as an entrepreneur. And I'd like to talk a little bit about this, because you have slowed down tremendously in your energy. But can you tell me, because I want you to say it in your own words, tell me, how do you feel differently from a year ago?
Well, I feel different compared to last year. I'm more peaceful. I'm more quiet inside. I used to be full of energy, full of projects. It was one after the other, and I wanted to try every avenue possible, and I would kind of lose myself and get a little overwhelmed and get in that energy that everything was bubbling. So now everything is still bubbling and everything is still exciting, but I'm quiet from the inside. I'm really, I'm peaceful, and I know everything will come. And now I'm more patient. I would say I'm more patient too. And I'm very more quiet. You know me, I got a bubbly personality. And now I'm just really peaceful and quiet. But I'm still running 100 miles an hour, but really peacefully now.
That's interesting. So one thing that I know that you didn't mention, but I just want to bring it here, is that when you talk about quiet, we also talk about grounding, like feeling this grounding within ourselves, which means that you can do a lot. Like you said, you're going 100 miles an hour, but you're still grounded. You're not stressed as much. And I remember you sharing also that, and let me know if that's still accurate, that you don't have fears. You don't have as many fears or doubts if you're going to be successful.
Yeah, those fears have disappeared. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of not making it, and I'm not afraid of not having a business that really is booming. I'm just going with who I am and what I want to do with it, and I have no fear of the results. I know the results will be there, and when you don't have those fears, or you're not waiting for the end result, and you're not hoping for a certain end result, and when you just let go of the future, it's just so peaceful that you're not running after something all the time. You can actually be in the moment, be present, and do the actions that are really going to put forward your business, and the end results will be there. No worries, that they will be there. So that's my part of the quiet now. I'm not fearful anymore. That's all right. There's no fear. It's just enjoy the moment, be present, have fun, do what I really like to do, respect who I am, my essence, and just go with it, and then everything will come.
Yeah, and that's amazing. First of all, that's amazing, because not many people can say that as entrepreneurs. If you know how to create from the inside out, from that grounding, from that quiet, from that inner confidence, because in there, what I see in that energy, that you hold the vision for your business, and you have that inner trust, that inner knowing. And that's your essence, that your space. When you create from that space, well, what you create has a completely different energy, and your life, your well-being has a completely different quality to it. And I'm wondering if that's not also an ingredient that really works for your success. Because again, I was looking at, our time together, almost a year, and your entrepreneurial journey from the beginning, from no business to where you're at now. The book is coming out, the trademark has been bought, the courses are being written, the conferences are being given, you're serving your clients. As you're doing that, you're getting clearer in what SoulStyling is. Now we got the idea for the magazine today and how that's going to support your business. So you know that, and you have this grounding and this presence that enables you to create that and to go with the flow. And that is such a beautiful place to create from, because if you don't have the fears or the worry or the stress, or most importantly, when you understand how stress is created by your own thinking, then you can more quickly get back into presence. You're more aware, you're more fully present. And to me, that's also an ingredient that's key to success. because it's going to enable you to be consistent. Again, I want to say that now we have the opportunity to look back over almost a year. Because I remember we started last January, and right now we are in November 17th.
Yes.
So I really want to be clear and bring this into the light that an entrepreneurial journey is a journey. You want to be consistent. You want to keep going. And if you keep going, you will create result and you will create success. And if you understand how state of mind is created, you'll be able to have more of a clear state of mind so you can listen to your inner wisdom and you can take the right action, and you keep going. And for you, specifically because of some of the insights you've had, you were able to shift, because that's one of your qualities. Once you see something, you're done with the old.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Finish. Move on.
Yeah, and then you're going towards your future. So you had that insight about SoulStyling, and that idea had so much life energy to it that within that idea, you had the instructional manual. Okay, so what do I need to do?
Yeah.
Now you're implementing, you're putting things into place and taking action. And so here we are.
Yeah, that's what I've learned with the coaching with you, Caroline, is that you learn how to create from the inside out. You learn how to recognize insights, and you learn to always be in a state of mind where you're actually conscious and you're connected. So when you do lose it, when the stress comes in, when the fears come in, when things are not maybe going your way, well, now I've learned, and you've showed me how to go like, oh, wait a minute, no, that's not the good state of mind, that's not what I want, or that's not how it's supposed to be. And you really shift back really, really fast. So you don't stay in those state of minds that will not bring you anything for your business or even for your personal life. You recognize how to create differently, and you recognize when you're getting into the pit and how to get out quickly. So, yeah, so that's what I've learned the most with you, is really state of mind and be aware. Always have your little antennas out for your insights, and sometimes it's something totally you don't think twice about it, but it's really something that was there to really bring you on another path, and just to be able to recognize all that. And that's really what makes a business successful in my point of view, from creating the inside out. And that's what I try to do every day.
Absolutely. And that's why I think that transformative coaching is so different than a lot of coaching out there, because I come from the premise that you are a goddess.
Yes.
That you have everything within you. And my job is to remove some of the stuff we need to do, remove or understand how noise is created so that we have an unclear state of mind so that you can listen to inner wisdom. And the benefit of being in this conversation to go deeper and deeper into that creates results the way that you created. So,
and I never thought I would be where I am right now, because a year ago I was fearful. I didn't know how I was going to work it, and things just happen, and I am where I am right now, and it's fine, and I'm happy to be where I am, and I'm looking forward to next year where I'm going to be. And so it's just a nice process. You learn so much, and you create something exactly the way you want to create it. So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah. And last thing I want to bring that is so beautiful. How many years you were a pilot for Air Canada? How many years ago?
19 years ago, I was a pilot for Air Canada Jazz, and I was there for 8 years, and I stopped everything to raise my children. Yeah. And now, yeah.
And you were one of the first female pilots, very few women pilots at that time. And I just wanted to bring that because within the explorations that you've done in the past few months, you also had the idea to go back and do your license again so that you can be a private pilot.
Yeah, it's done. I'm a private pilot again.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
Yeah, and then within the vision for your business, not so much the practical vision, but the essence of your vision, your your desire for freedom, your desire for traveling, your desire for beautiful things. Why not take women shopping in my own plane,
Oh, yeah.
in Europe or whatever, and there you go. You got your license as a pilot, and it's amazing how, in the bigger scheme of things will come together if we can open up to our full potential. Because that was a part of you that you didn't want to ignore. It was there. I'm a freaking pilot.
Yeah, I fly planes. I flew planes for a living. Then I became a mom. It was a great thing to be a mom at home, and I don't regret one single minute of it. But I have that. Why not go and get it back? And that's part of my vision of soul styling. We'll have soul styling shopping adventures. You want to go to New York? I'm gonna have the plane. Couple, hop on the plane. Let's go shopping, and let's do a weekend of transformation and fun. And this is styling at its best, I think. So
yeah, absolutely, the soul styling. And so let's wrap up by, because this takes us to what's next for you. So we know that you have this vision, and I don't know how much you want to say, so I'm going to let you say it. What's the next part of the vision?
Well, my next part of the vision I see down the future is I would love to have my own agency, a soul styling agency. I would have other stylists working for me. I would have all different professionals from the health side, life coach or physical coach or nutritionist, so that when you come into the soul styling agency, you come in for a full transformation from the inside out. And my part would be, when you're ready to do the out, I will be the out with the wardrobe, but it would be a full transformation. And now I'm concentrating on women, but I want to create a line too for men, because men have a right to be gods too and be happy. And so my vision is to have an agency where I'd have different people working with me, so that when the clients come in, they have a full transformation from the inside out. So that's the big goal.
Yeah. And the magazine to support it, online
Yes.
magazine, and then eventually like a paper magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And
a YouTube channel with videos and lots of things that would support the agency. And I want soul styling to become like known. And in a couple of years in the styling in the fashion industry, I want soul styling to be on the lips of the stylist, and saying, okay, well, this is a way to look at your wardrobe.
Yes.
So that's the big vision.
And ultimately, what we talked about earlier also is how the need on this planet at this time for women to love themselves more, and that soul styling will come and nourish and help women understand about beauty from the inside out. And how I see, like, my bigger vision for you and for soul styling is how this work that you're doing will impact the world in a way that I think women are really ready. You know that ad that's all over the TV now? I'm not sure if it's Dove or...
Is it the Kellogg's one? They're all in the baby
yes.
suit, and that's amazing. I love that ad. Yeah.
The one, they're all unhappy. They're looking at their body. And
yeah, they say 99% of women will give themselves a bad comment on their bodies, and it's time to shed that and just be beautiful and be who we are. So yeah, that's the vision of soul styling. Yeah,
and soul styling is going to come and help do that. And that's the importance. So I want to wrap up with that. That's the deeper importance of your work, of my work, of the work of women leaders. And I call you leaders because you are on the leading edge, leading from a new way of being, a new way of teaching, a new way of creating. And you're going to be illuminating and inspiring women to join in this movement of bringing their work out into the world in a bigger way, without fears. You heard it, folks. You know, the fears are gone. The stress is mostly gone. Not that we always live in perfect harmony, but now we understand how stress is created, our fears are created. We can get back into our center and get back to enjoying and creating a wonderful life.
Yeah, that's the goal.
A successful business. So thank you so much. I want to tell people that if they want to see your website, your beautiful websites, it's soulstyling.ca.
Yes, it is.
Right? And go check out Brigitte's website. And I know that you're going to be shooting videos and doing periscopes and sharing tips and stuff. So I think it might be a good idea if you love fashion and you love creating beauty from the inside out, to go jump on her email list and know when her book is coming out and when her conferences are going to be happening, so that, you know, you guys can jump in and go meet Brigitte. So thank you, my darling.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.